Going on with this idea of symbol, sorry, it was interrupted. Words and numbers, as I said, generally fit into this category because it's totally arbitrary. So the same is true for the word tree. Yes, both come to mean when they go through cultural convention. Okay, and have a look at the context of symbols, how symbols work within a context, and the meaning they carry by being in a context, how they change, right? The evolution. This was taken from Semiotics Simplified, yes, from a PowerPoint. Okay, now we're going to talk about the sign features of language. As I told you already, they are shared by all human languages, no matter if they are Aboriginal languages or European languages, whatever. So Finnegan said that a language is a set of elements and a system for combining them into pattern expressions that can be used to accomplish specific tasks in specific contexts. Well, there's a lot here. There's a lot to talk about here. So combining, as the word here, the phrase here, pattern expressions and accomplishing specific tasks is another key element. It is important here that we all share grammatical competence. So grammatical competence is the language user's unconscious or implicit knowledge of vocabulary, pronunciation, sentence structure, and meaning, and the mental capacity that enables speakers to form correct grammatical sentences. That's why behaviorism was no longer accepted, because children produce correct grammatical sentences, yes, no matter the exposure they have to the language. It enables speakers to produce and understand an infinite number of sentences they haven't heard before, and that is productivity, or the creative aspect of language that we're going to deal with later on in didactics. Okay, so these are the design features. This is what you have to compare human languages with animal communication. So which of them are shared in certain aspects, of course, are shared by the animal communication that you're going to choose. So we have discreteness, arbitrariness, cultural transmission, displacement, interchangeability, productivity, feedback, specialization. So there are a lot of them we're going to see one by one. One of them is discreteness. Speakers can identify the sound segments in the words of their language. So English speakers can identify the sounds in cat as the three represented by the letters C, A, and T, cat. Arbitrariness. There is no necessary connection between the form of signal and its meaning. So whale is small for a big animal, and microorganism is just the reverse. Okay, so there is no connection. Maybe some onomatopoeias you may find, but it's absolutely arbitrary. Another one has to do with cultural transmission. At least some aspect of communication system is learned from other users. Okay, so French-speaking parents will learn French. Alright, so if I am in China, of course I will learn Chinese, sorry. Okay, so the system is learned from other users, from parents or from tutors, whoever. Another one is displacement, this ability to talk about things not present in space or time. Interchangeability, a user can both receive and broadcast the same signal, right? So a speaker can be a listener and vice versa. And you will find this in animal communication, right? And productivity, speakers can create infinite number of novel utterances that others can understand. So it has to do with fantastic stories, little opinions, living in my sock drawer, said Elvis Lance. Okay, so they can understand. I can create infinite number, yes, of new words, even new words, and that's in some cases is not possible with animals, or to a certain extent. Feedback, users of the system are aware of what they are transmitting, So I said something and I'll obtain an answer. Yes, and that is feedback, okay? That they are understanding, the other is understanding what I mean. Specialization. The communication system serves no other function but to communicate. How human language represents reality, both external, the real world, and internal states, beliefs, symbolically in the mind. So it is manifested as a speech, language, and serves uniquely as a communicative system. It is specialized for that. Semanticity, the system conveys meaning through a set of fixed relationships among signifiers, reference, and meaning. And human language conveys meaning through arbitrary symbols. So, depending on the language you speak, okay, it conveys meaning through the combination of symbols, of combination of sounds. And the system enables the user to talk nonsense or to lie, prevarication. Learnability, the user of the system can learn other variants. Humans can learn a number of different language. I can learn Portuguese, I can learn Italian, I can learn many other languages, okay, so we can learn them. Reflexiveness, the ability to use the communication system to discuss the system itself. No evidence is that any other species write grammars or linguistic textbooks. And when we deal with second language acquisition, it's, the target language, the second language users, already know about their system. So it's a benefit, it's an advantage, that we can reflect about our own language and the system itself. The duality, human languages can be analyzed on two levels. At one level, they can be viewed as having meaningful units. Entonces, so tabletop has the two meaningful parts, table and top, okay? And at a lower level, the elements contained in the meaningful parts do not themselves carry meaning. For example, the three sounds of top don't individually have meaning, okay? So at one level, they can be seen as meaningful units, all right? So tabletop has two meaningful parts, table and top, and I have the unit table and I understand it's meaningful. But then at a lower level, the elements contained in that meaningful parts, they do not themselves carry sound. Every sound do not carry meaning by themselves. They don't individually have meaning. The capacity that enables us to use language appropriately is called communicative competence. The capacity that enables us to use language appropriately, right? It enables us to weave utterances together into narratives, to make an apology, a request, directions, write recipes, okay? Everything we can do with language. That is communicative competence. It encompasses communicative linguistic competence, discourse competence, strategic competence, social linguistic competence. It is the implicit knowledge that underlines in the appropriate use of grammatical competence in communicative situations. But for that, I need to know the grammar of the language. It's very important. Okay, that's it. I hope that you have understood it. And the idea now is that you compare, you choose or take an animal communication system and compare it with human language and see if those language features are fulfilled in the animal system of communication. Thank you so much for listening. Any doubt, we are in the WhatsApp. Okay, we can communicate there. See you.